And hi, Awa. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. Hello, everyone.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi.
Okay, cool. Here we go. So I know that people are starting to come in. Hey, Courtney. Do you think that I should pull up my slides now, Leah?
Yeah, I think that's great.
Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And then I think I can just kind of dive in there so that as more people join, we'll have this landing page. But hi, so my name is Kristen, and I am gonna chat with y'all today about like what to expect when you're expecting and enrolled. And I will love to have conversation, answer questions, and everything too. I will just share a little bit I'm a shower, right? So I love pictures. So I am just gonna share everything that I can with y'all in a series of pictures. So this is me during my pregnancy. I found out that I was pregnant during my third year as a PhD student, which was super surprising, super exciting. And it was so coincidental because at this conference on the top left, there is literally a panel about like when is the right time to have a baby? Like, is it, during your PhD? Is it during your postdoc? Is it during tenure track? So there is like a lot of dialogue happening for that, right? So from these pictures, what you might not see was that in this picture where I was presenting this poster, I was having morning sickness, right? But one thing that I want y'all to get away from this session is that, we are still resilient, we are still capable. And, I like to say that Athena here, she just turned 5 months old and she's joined me for the session. She's been my little lucky charm. I know. She's also a little sleepy right now too, so I'm trying to soothe her. But I would like to joke that she is my lucky charm because I won two poster awards while I was presenting with her. Um, you know, um, I'll jump around a little bit here. I really want to emphasize the importance of having just like faith in the timing of everything, like of course, she's my first. I want to have a baby shower. For a while, we were like, when is this gonna happen? And we had ours kind of late at 36 weeks, but it happened. We had it on a Wednesday night. We had a bunch of people show up with love and support, and I'm so grateful. Every time that I thought that I was behind, like I told my husband, I'm like, we have to take a birthing class. When are we gonna do that, right? And it was like the inspiration to look for that came at the perfect time because when I looked at the calendar, I was like, wait, there's one this Saturday. Can we do it this Saturday? And we found out that that was the last like in-person class happening in the Valley, like that was, offered for free. I'm sure there's others, but the ones that we were looking for, I mean, it was just we were really lucky there. We can still have fun. We can still, in this one, I went to a concert during a conference and they were playing Jimmy Eat World. And I don't know if you know that song, but it's like, it just takes some time, little girl. And then I was like, that was about the time that I found out that, I was having a girl actually. And so, I mean, it was what I thought was going to be a really like terrifying thing for me ended up being probably like one of the best timings like for me to bring life in. And when it comes to my academics, right, which I'm a student just as much as I am a parent, but I've had to really learn how to work efficiently. Like this has taught me time management like nothing else in my life. You can see here in the bottom right, like I literally have two tabs open. Both of them are running computing instances. So I'm running code in one, running code in another. I'm in bed because honestly, I'm tired. It's my third trimester. I'm working when I can work. Maybe I'm not working that 9 to 5, but if I have the energy energy to do something at 7 a.m., I'm going to do it. Or if it's 7 p.m., I'm going to do it. The work just, has to get done. And one thing I really like about our community as well is the emphasizing of like AI tools for productivity because I don't need to spend an hour reading an email to make sure that I've written it in the best way. I can, write this is the gist of what I want to say, and use a tool and get it across, right? And so let me pivot a little bit to the second part, right? Where, baby Athena comes. She came in April. So she was born April 21st. And she came in the afternoon. It was like right after Easter. And so it timed really well with the end of the semester. So I didn't have too much interruption to my research. But I want to show a little bit about our village here, which is I guess just like tools and how I feel like I've been able to thrive being a student parent and, doing my PhD. So first, I have to point out that little Athena became a little international traveler. I like to call her my little research assistant, my little RA. So at 16 weeks old, we actually went to Toronto, Canada, and presented some research that I'm doing with my mentor here, Aldair. And Aldair is wonderful. He supports my remote work. I'm collaborating with him. He's in California. And I remember telling him I was so scared to tell him about my pregnancy because I knew it would impact my ability to come to the lab during the summer. And when I told him, he was like so happy, excited. He was like, "Oh my gosh, like of course. Well, we'll take care of everything. Like don't worry about it." That's my husband, Dari. He's also a PhD student in business administration, and he helps me with her all the time. Like when I have meetings or, conferences, like he is the first to step up, and especially more now that Athena's starting to have that kind of parental preference. If you know, like sometimes it's just, I just want dad, right? And he's so patient with her. Here is my advisor for UTRGV, Dr. Lee, and he's been so supportive with just, okay, Kristen, like you need to get some sunshine sometimes. Like, let's go outside, come to the lab. You can bring Athena, it's fine. And he's so excited to see her like every time. And now you can see my teammate here, Daniel. This is Daniel and Amin. And they also, every time I bring, oh, how's your little princess doing? And she was fussy last week during our meeting, and Daniel was writing like a little smiley face on his notebook because, kids, they like faces, and she calmed right down. Athena, I have to tell her she's part of my village too, and she's really patient with me when I need her to be. Like if she is napping, I'm able to do that deep focus, and when I have big meetings. And sometimes like especially like I know now that I've had my daughter, but it's like friends that check in on you that just like regularly ask you like, hey, like how are you doing? Like it's such a gift, Camilla, I appreciate her so much. And if you have a meeting going on and you're on campus and it's like, please, can you help me? That's Gina. We were in her office and she's really she's had I think she has 4 kids. So she's super excited to help out when she can too. And I think I've had to transition even to just, they grow so quickly, seriously. So, the first, during the newborn trenches, I have her with me all the time and she doesn't leave my side. She doesn't leave my lap. And now that she's getting a little older, I can have her do her independent play with her little, jingle jangles, socks and wristlets. And she's teething. She has her 2 front teeth already. So, we're really learning how to balance that work and play of, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of this task. I'm going to do a little bit of this task. And anyway, that's how I've been able to persevere. I just wanted to show a little picture collage of that. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening to my story. And I would love to hear anyone's story in this room. And I'll stop sharing now. But that is what I wanted to share with y'all and open up the floor. Ask anything, share anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kristen. And Athena, obviously, you're sous chef here.
Yes, thank you.
Feel free to put any questions in the chat. My name is Dr. Leah Benamy. I'm a senior ecosystem designer with Education Design Lab. So happy to help facilitate and moderate any questions with our beautiful speakers here.
Well, thank you. Oh gosh, and the ginger, I'm just reading the chat now. Yeah, ginger tea helped me so much. Like I was obsessed with ginger. One of the big help. Hmm.
I'll ask a question.
Gosh.
Um, what's one thing you wish your professors had known during this time, as you were navigating your doctoral work and essentially giving birth to two babies, right? That's a lot. So,
That's a great way to put it. Like, I think that it's just there's a difference between like my brain being able to do like creative work and just like work that just like needs to get done, right? I think that's one of the biggest challenges of the PhD where it's like I'll tell my husband all the time, it's like, okay, like if I am going to clean the dishes, there's a start point, the dishes are dirty, there's an end point. The dishes are clean. That's straightforward, right? My brain is able to just kind of carry that out. But when it comes to this creative work of, okay, what is your research question? What kind of trials are you going to develop? Like how can you put together a story? Like that's so much more creative energy that like it just takes time to get into the mindset of that. So I would just want my professors to realize that it's like there's only so much, I guess, creative energy. So it's kind of like pick your battles, right?
thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, what resources do you wish your university offered to support student parents as well as pregnant student learners?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest support that I wish that University of Texas like system, Rio Grande Valley and all of them really would look at like the fourth trimester. The fourth trimester, like, those 12 weeks when baby comes were hands down the hardest for me, I think, because I'm lucky my morning sickness was there, but by like week 14 it was done. But like you just go through labor and that's like one of the scariest times of a woman's life. And then you have this creature, I mean, this human that's like, oh my gosh, like I have to take care of her and she's so small and what's going on? And wait, you want me to breastfeed her now? Like I'm so tired. Let me sleep, please. And I had my first meeting 3 weeks after. So I got a little bit of time and then we were kind of starting up again. And that was I don't know. I don't think that the protections are in place, especially for grad students who are teaching assistants. I don't think that protection is like you're very much at the mercy of who you work with. And I'm just grateful that I had the understanding of you're going to work remote when you can come in, Athena can come, so I think just more acknowledgement of that. And also just one more thing for the dad as well, because my husband only had a week. He had 1 week. That's kind of difficult. And I can't imagine like, I mean, I had a vaginal birth. I can't imagine for C-section that would have been even more complicated. So, yeah.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Hi. Yes, I see your question. Miguel asked, have you ever used the family study room at UTRGV? No, but it's on my bucket list. Like I want to. Did you get help from the parenting liaison? I don't know who the parenting liaison is. I'm so sorry. I don't know, but I'm in there's like a student parenting org chat and I know that there's a family study room. And I told my husband, I'm like, I want to go, like, let's go. But a lot of times I'm just working from from home, and we make it to the campus right now once a week. I take her stroller, we just we get there, but our lab is like kind of in a weird spot. Like I think because the library is like right there in the center, right? And then my lab is like near like the police station and stuff, so it's way out of campus. So it's I know it's a good location, like it's centralized, but because of my situation, it's a little difficult, but it's on my bucket list. Yeah, a better paternity leave. Like seriously, I was surprised he got 1 week no going to class. Then he got 1 week of extra time to do the assignments. And that was it. I was so surprised by that. Yeah.
My other question is, if you don't mind me asking, what are some challenges that you faced throughout pregnancy and even afterwards?
Yeah, I think the challenge now I think is just like a lot of mom guilt of like, okay, like I have so much to do, but like I feel like she's just constantly like growing up and now she's teething and I'm like at that point that I want to middle. Yeah, and then during my husband was reminding me to talk about the challenges during pregnancy too. I mean, not I think there's definitely like a fog that comes too, where it's just like, oh my gosh, like my brain is not working. I would say that we definitely had like a unique situation too, where we actually had like housing insecurity, like we had to move because the place where we were living wouldn't allow children. So that was like really a lot. Like I was just kind of like what are we gonna do? But again, like we're our family's like is like really big proponent of like everything happens for a reason. And we ended up finding like this place that we're at now that's like perfect. It has more room for us all and like we thank God for it today, but I think that there are definitely a lot of times that test your faith and you just have to like really have faith because at the end of the day, Athena is a miracle. Like I cannot believe like I never imagined this happening, like being a mom, right? Like I didn't think that it was possible for one. So for that to happen, then the universe has some vision for it, right? And it's just a matter of hanging on and enjoying the ride. Yeah, it was not on campus housing. It was a gray area. It was a mobile park that is for adults, like 18 plus. Yeah. And so it was a senior park. There's a lot of protections for senior mobile home parks, but it was kind of like a senior park that got converted to an 18 plus, but they were firm on the 18 plus, and it was just, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but moving forward, and thank you, Courtney. Yeah. Moving forward, what resources do you feel you need from your university to finish your PhD and thrive as a new student parent? That's a great question. I think that a lot of the support that I need is just kind of like, I guess, continued support, like a continued understanding of like, I am working remotely, like, please, like, I know my advisor talked about like, hey, like, let's get you teaching responsibilities, like at some point during your PhD. I'm like, okay, that would be a horrible time for that right now, right? Even though I understand it's useful for folks that are like pursuing more of like an academic career path after their PhD, but like I'm much more interested in industry. And I think that's a lot of the conversations I'm having with my colleagues now is like, are you applying for jobs? Like, is your CV okay for like an industry job? When do you apply for an industry job? And I feel like that's really difficult to kind of understand what to do. And this is a problem that I think is plaguing a lot more of like broader. Like it's not just student parents that are like experiencing this because everybody has that advisor that's like, I know exactly what you want to do when you get done with your PhD and you're going to do an academic career. And if you tell them anything else, they're just going to look at you like, what? Like, but I think what complicates it for a student parent is like the sort of, I don't know if this is the right term, but like the time poverty. Like I just don't have time. Like I'm just, oh my God. Like I just don't want like a gap in my employment, so I'm just kind of scrambling. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm grateful we're able to sleep. We've worked out sleeping, but that first week, I mean, I just can't imagine like doing all of this on like less sleep than I get. Like that's so hard. So I think yeah, resources just the big one is just kind of like more career support would be would be perfect and just if parents don't have it but like just like the flexibility of like oh because I'll bring up one other thing is that my candidacy exam I was supposed to have that in the spring but obviously I didn't have that so I am really lucky and we've even had a change of program managers for the PhD and I had to explain to the new program manager yeah like please allow me the flexibility to do it this semester I was pregnant you know and so he understood but yeah. What kind of support, childcare, counseling, financial aid, study spaces, etc., would be most beneficial to you? I think the support that I would love is just like to be able to talk to like more like first time moms, like just like more moms.
Community.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I really crave that a lot. Like
Hmm.
childcare, as much as like childcare would be nice, like I'm selfish. I want to be around her all the time, you know? Like I
It's
would
not
rather
selfish.
Yeah, like I just would rather if I can make it work while I have her, like that's just a big one. And of financial aid, I mean, financial aid is always helpful. Oh my gosh, I mean, that would be nice. And it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, our university is literally giving us like almost $2,000 to finish our PhD. Like, why can't we have a kind of financial aid or help out for parents? Like, why not?
Exactly.
I love how the community challenges us to like reimagine, right? Like let's like
Hmm.
we can redesign the new iPhone every year. Like let's redesign like an education that works because the statistic that stood out to me the most was how like 1 in 5 students are parents as well, but only 18% finish.
Hmm.
That's not
Yep.
okay. I mean,
Yep.
we're there's a lack there. We got to do something better. But thank you so much, everybody. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate connecting with you all. And
Thanks everyone for asking such great questions as well. And the nugget has we put her to sleep. She's clearly, learned enough for today.